students. We're back again with grammar. This time, the passive. We're going to look at when to use a passive and how to form a passive. I'm going to show you how we form the passive in every tense in the English language. We form the passive with the verb to be in the appropriate tense and the past participle of the main verb. Let's take a look at these examples. Present simple. Tina bakes a cake. In the active form. Passive. A cake is baked by Tina. Present continuous. Tina is baking a cake. In the active form. Passive. A cake is being baked by Tina. Past simple. Active. Tina baked a cake. Passive. A cake was baked by Tina. Past continuous. Active. Tina was baking a cake. Passive. A cake was being baked by Tina. Present perfect simple. Tina has baked a cake. In the active form. Passive. A cake has been baked by Tina. Past perfect simple. Tina had baked a cake. In the active form. Passive. A cake had been baked by Tina. Future simple. Tina will bake a cake. In the active form. Passive. A cake will be baked by Tina. We use the passive when the person or people doing the action is unknown, unimportant, or obvious from the context. The vase was broken. We don't know who broke it. The package will be delivered today. We don't know who will deliver it. Our exam papers have been corrected. It's obvious that the teacher has corrected our exam papers. We also use the passive when the action itself is more important than the person or people doing it, as in news headlines, newspaper articles, instructions, processes, etc. Mobile phones must be turned off during the examination. We also use it when we want to avoid taking responsibility for an action or when we refer to an unpleasant event and we do not want to say who or what is to blame. They were cheated out of their money. We also use it to emphasize the agent. The announcement was made by the Prime Minister himself. To make statements more formal or polite. My book has been torn. It is more polite than saying, you tore my book. Changing from the active to the passive. The object of the active sentence becomes the subject in the passive sentence. The active verb remains in the same tense but changes into passive form. The subject of the active sentence becomes the agent and is either introduced with a preposition by or is omitted. For example, Lisa designed a dress. It's the active form. And when we turn it to the passive, it becomes a dress was designed by Lisa. Only transitive verbs, verbs that take an object, can be changed into the passive. A house collapsed in the earthquake. So it's an intransitive verb and it has no passive form. We can use the verb to get instead of the verb to be in everyday speech when we talk about things that happened by accident. Our luggage got stolen at the airport. The agent can be omitted when the subject is they, he, someone, people, one, etc. Someone has broken the window. The window has been broken. The agent is not omitted when it is a specific or important person or when it is essential to the meaning of the sentence. A decision was reached by the board of directors. With verbs which can take two objects, such as bring, tell, send, show, teach, promise, sell, read, give, lend, etc. We can form two different passive sentences. He offered me a deal. In active, I was offered a deal. Passive, more usual, or a deal was offered to me. Passive, less usual. In passive questions with who, whom, or which, we do not omit by. Who painted this portrait? Who was the portrait painted by? The verbs hear, help, see, and make are followed by the bare infinitive in the active, but by the to infinitive in the passive. For example, they saw him leave the building. In the passive form, he was seen to leave the building. Okay, that's all for today, my students. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write to me. I'll see you soon. Bye.